No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Try the right side here. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
With DeAndre Hopkins, I think anyone who's calling plays for him has zero limitations. And what I mean by that is he's a guy you can move outside, you can move him inside, play him on the left side, on the right side. It doesn't matter. Some guys, they have to have the ball in a certain spot. Not Hopkins. Long, short, intermediate. He just wants the football. And then after that, he usually does some pretty good damage with run after catch.
Throwing on second down. Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Watson. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice fast start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because if you can get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back to throw. Downing, forced out to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. The numbers for Smallwood last week. 19 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 25-yard line. Operating from the gun. Downing, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the 1st quarter, as that's a 1st down. How about the 1st quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings, for some reason it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On second down and 4, Watson with a catch made by Hopkins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. Watson in the offense going to come up first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10 at the 45.
Go, faster! Ready?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Go! 60 Pittsburgh!
They'll run it now out of the gun. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. And an alley to run. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Well, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Let's go now. 30 base.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
Hey, lock it. Rock it. Defense.
From the gun, Downing, looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So here are the Saints to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
61, matchbox, light.
Throwing on 1st down. Downing. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Let's go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 34. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
From the gun on 3rd down. Downing. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. Yeah, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm a
Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow, chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line.
And the Saints first down.
Go set. 90 Wolf.
Let's go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
And 7 at the 16-yard line.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7.
You better be afraid of me.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Let's go, buddy.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can cut.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again. Downing. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Looking to throw. Downing. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. J.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Back to throw. Downing. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run on first down. Richardson, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Watch the whip. Shift. Watch the shift.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now he's forced out left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a second and goal.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. Yeah.
Second and 5. Being chased out left to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Operating from the gun. Downing. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point? A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's what really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10.
Watch the twist.
Throwing again is Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Throwing on third down, Watson going deep for Hopkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Let's go. 30 base. Switch up. Switch. Hey, Sam on. Check 26. Check 26. Let's go.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And a look now at Nelson, who remains down. He appears to be shaken up a bit. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Big stop, let's go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will finish off this third quarter of play. Back now in Houston, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. It's wearing the tight end with it. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now this will be a jet sweep. Here's Thomas with it.
Come on, set, 50, plant.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Shoot!
Ready?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Watson. He's going to air one out. They've got his man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A huge play there for Houston. 48 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
You got nothing.
On fourth down, Watson. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something to develop slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a fourth and goal. Here we go on fourth down. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. They stop him on fourth and goal at the 3. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 52 yards. So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. They run Smallwood. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
18 Gator. Under 10. Under 10. Rock it. Check the backer. He's crooked.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third and short, Smallwood. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 3 yards on first, 4 on second, and now 5 on third down. Move the sticks.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said... Go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Houston, they dipped to 2.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, pull on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, pull on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, pull on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, pull on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they kept in the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause. Ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my 50.